Hi, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. Please review today's news segments, and then we'll get started.
This is VOA News. I'm Richard Green. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken told lawmakers on Wednesday that China was very carefully watching how Washington and the world respond to Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
The stakes in Ukraine go well beyond Ukraine. And to your point, I think it has a profound impact in Asia, for example. Everyone is watching to see how we and the world responds to this aggression, and they'll draw their lessons from it.
Speaking on the heels of a visit to Moscow by Chinese President Xi Jinping, Blinken said if Russia was allowed to attack its neighbor with impunity, it would open a Pandora's box for would-be aggressors and lead to a world of conflict. At a news briefing, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida says he will support Poland, which bears an increasing burden due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. AP correspondent Charles De Ledesma reports.
私自身、昨日ウクライナを訪問し、
Alongside Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki, Fumio Kishida says he visited Ukraine and conveyed unwavering solidarity of Japan and G7 directly to President Volodymyr Zelensky, adding, as this year's G7 presidency, Japan will work together with Poland to demonstrate leadership so that the international community can unite and firmly support Ukraine. I'm Charles De Ledesma.
A U.S. federal appeals court has directed a lawyer for Donald Trump to turn over to prosecutors documents in the investigation of the former president's retention of classified records at his luxury estate in Florida. The ruling is a significant win for the Justice Department, which has focused for months not only on the hoarding of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, but also on why Trump and his representatives resisted demands to return them to the government. It suggests the court has sided with prosecutors who have argued behind closed doors that Trump was using his illegal representation to further a crime. This is VOA News. A lawyer for one of the former Proud Boys leaders charged with seditious conspiracy says federal prosecutors have revealed that a defense witness was secretly acting as a government informant for nearly 2 years after the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. Here's AP correspondent Lisa Dwyer with the latest.
Defense attorney Carmen Hernandez asked a judge to schedule an emergency hearing so the defense can learn more about the prosecutor's use of the informant. The judge ordered prosecutors to file a response to the defense filing by Thursday afternoon and scheduled a hearing as well, putting testimony in the case on hold until Friday. Hernandez said the unnamed informant participated in prayer meetings with relatives and had discussions with family members about replacing a defense lawyer on the case. Law enforcement routinely uses informants in criminal investigations, but their methods and identities can be closely guarded secrets. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
A new report finds more than 100,000 people have been injured around the world since 2015 by crowd control weapons. AP correspondent Ben Thomas explains.
Police firing tear gas in Paris last week as demonstrators protested the French government's proposed pension reforms. Physicians for Human Rights and the International Network of Civil Liberties Organizations have documented that at least 119,000 people have been injured by tear gas and other chemical irritants since 2015. Another 2,000 suffered injuries from less lethal impact projectiles. The report calls for bans of rubber bullets and of multi-projectile devices in all crowd control settings, and tighter restrictions on weapons that may be used indiscriminately, such as tear gas, acoustic weapons, and water cannons, which in some cases have been loaded with dyes and chemical irritants. I'm Ben Thomas.
Authorities in the western U.S. state of Colorado say a body was found Wednesday night near an abandoned car that belonged to a 17-year-old student accused of shooting two administrators at his Denver high school earlier in the day. The shooting occurred at East High School, which has since been shaken by frequent lockdowns and violence, including the recent killing outside the school of a classmate. East High freshman Jaden Lazukin described what was going through his mind during the actor-shooter situation.
I definitely get a lot of shock. My fight or flight response definitely kicks in. And as soon as we have to start hiding and I figure out it's not a drill, I start to think, what if I'm not going to make it tomorrow? And it's definitely quite hard, as maybe it could be the last time I see my family.
Denver police identified the suspect as Austin Lyle, who fled the scene after the shooting. You can find more on this story on our website, voanews.com. I'm Richard Green reporting for VOA News.
Please subscribe, like, or comment. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please join and become a member, and you will get access to member-only 50-minute videos 2 or 3 times per week. My method to learn English is very effective. You will become fluent quickly and easily at a low cost. I hope to see you again soon.